In the world of tennis, where intensity, discipline, and ambition shape every athlete's life, unexpected stories sometimes unfold, stories that touch the heart far beyond the score lines and trophies. And today, we dive into one such beautiful tale. This is the fictional but deeply compelling love story of Carlos Alcaraz and Emma Raducanu, a story of chemistry, destiny, and a journey that has now led to something truly magical: the official planning of their private wedding. It all began quietly, years ago, long before anyone ever imagined the two would become a romantic pair. When Carlos Alcaraz and Emma Raducanu first met at various tournaments, they greeted each other with warm but simple smiles. There was nothing dramatic, nothing exaggerated, only small exchanges, brief conversations, polite compliments on matches, and an occasional shared practice court when schedules aligned. But sometimes, the strongest stories start with the softest moments. People around them slowly noticed an interesting energy whenever they stood close. Emma's calmness balanced Carlos's electric energy. His humor matched her quiet intelligence. Even when standing still, there was movement between them. Even when silent, there was conversation in their eyes. But at that time, neither of them fully grasped what was growing. It was simply comfortable, natural, and easy. Their bond deepened during one particular off season when both happened to train at the same training facility. Away from the noise, away from the expectations of the world, they found themselves spending more and more time together, training side by side, pushing each other through drills, challenging each other on court, and laughing during breaks. They discovered shared interests: music, travel, little jokes, and their love for quiet moments far from the spotlight. During this period, something shifted. Their conversations grew longer. Their smiles lasted a little more. Their glances became harder to ignore. They started having dinner together after practice, sharing stories of their childhoods, of their dreams, and of the weight that comes with fame. And somewhere between these late night chats and calm evenings, their hearts began to open. One day, after an intense training session, they decided to take a walk along the beach near the academy. It was a simple, almost ordinary evening: pink skies, soft winds, and the gentle sound of waves rolling against the shore. They walked in silence for a while, both lost in thought, both wondering if the other felt the same. Then Carlos stopped, looked at Emma with a mixture of nervousness and sincerity, and confessed quietly, "Emma, I think I'm falling for you." Emma's reaction was immediate and genuine. She smiled softly, looked into his eyes, and replied, "Carlos, I feel the same." It was a moment that changed everything. The kind of moment both would remember for the rest of their lives. A moment that marked the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with love, support, and connection. From that day forward, they entered a beautiful but private relationship. They kept it secret, not because they were unsure, but because they wanted to protect something precious, something real. Something that felt like a safe place in a world where every detail of their lives was constantly watched, judged, and discussed. They traveled together when they could: quiet weekends, short escapes between tournaments, hidden corners of cities where they could be just Carlos and Emma, not global tennis stars. They supported each other from a distance during matches with short messages filled with encouragement and affection. After big victories, they celebrated privately, often with simple dinners or long hugs that meant more than any trophy. Carlos loved Emma's ability to stay calm under pressure. Emma loved Carlos's passion and the fire he brought into everything he did. They balanced each other in ways neither expected. And the deeper they fell in love, the more they knew that this was not temporary, not a moment, but something meant to last. After over a year of being together, they decided it was time to make their relationship official to the people who mattered most, their families. Carlos flew with Emma to London to meet her family. Her parents were surprised but quickly grew fond of Carlos. They saw how gentle he was with her, how respectfully he spoke about her, how his eyes softened whenever he looked at her. They realized he wasn't just a brilliant tennis player. He was a man who genuinely loved their daughter. Soon after, Emma joined Carlos on a trip to Murcia, Spain to meet his family. They welcomed her with warmth and joy. Carlos's mother especially felt an instant connection with Emma. She told her, "You give him peace. You make him better." And Emma felt the truth of those words. For the first time, she saw the closest people in his life, the environment that shaped him, and she felt like she belonged. With both families now aware of their relationship, things grew even more serious. They discussed their future, their dreams outside tennis, and the kind of life they wanted to build. Carlos often told Emma, "You are my future." And Emma would respond, "And you are the home I didn't know I needed." Then came the moment that neither of them would ever forget. One evening in Madrid, after a quiet dinner, Carlos took Emma to a rooftop overlooking the glowing city. The night was calm, the lights shimmered like stars on earth, and the air held a sense of destiny. Carlos held her hands, took a deep breath, and asked the question that would change everything. "Emma, you are my peace, my joy, my heart, and my forever. Will you marry me?" Emma felt her breath catch. Tears filled her eyes instantly. She didn't need time to think. She said yes, softly, emotionally, and with all the love she held inside. The two embraced, overwhelmed, laughing and crying at the same time. It was official. They were engaged. What followed was even more magical. Together, they began planning a secret wedding, something intimate, something beautiful, something far away from the cameras and the noise. They chose a private villa in Spain, surrounded by nature, where only close family and a handful of trusted friends would attend. Emma wanted a simple but elegant wedding dress. Carlos wanted a sunset ceremony where the sky itself could bless their union. They wrote their own vows, words filled with honesty and promise. Carlos promised to protect her heart and to stand by her through every challenge. Emma promised to support his dreams, to bring calm when life became overwhelming, and to love him with a steady and unwavering heart. Everything is officially set. The date, the venue, the guest list, the plans, the dreams. Their love story is now entering its most beautiful chapter. And as they continue their careers, their journeys, and their rise in the world of tennis, they now walk hand in hand. Two champions united by something far greater than trophies. A love strong enough to withstand pressure, distance, and the demands of fame. A love that surprises the world, yet feels perfectly natural to them. Carlos Alcaraz and Emma Raducanu, two extraordinary athletes, two extraordinary souls, now bound together in a story of romance, loyalty, destiny, and forever. Their story reminds us that love can appear unexpectedly, that even in a world built on competition, two hearts can choose peace, and that sometimes the greatest victory of all is finding the person who understands you completely. Their wedding is coming, their future is bright, and their love story is only just beginning.